Hey, it's Sammy again. I got asked on Reddit on how I would do a bypass in Patcher. So basically, if we imagine that we have a situation where we have an effect in Patcher that we want to be able to control with a button, that when it's on and when it's off. Basically, well, first off, we have to start off with creating the set button. So let's make one here, resize it, and now we can hit the button. Okay, fine. Then we need to add the plugin we want to turn on and turn off. So basically, it could be anything here, but let's use a filter, for example. So if we listen to the audio we have now, might be a bit quiet. Oh, we need to route the audio to a mixer track. So now we should be going through the filter. Yep. All right. So we want to be able to control the filter effect being on and being off with the press of a button here. So what we need to do is, before we can connect the filter to the input and the output, we need to turn that off. And then we need to add a fruity balance in between. So like this. So basically we are going to use fruity balance because it's a very simple plugin that simply just has a volume button that we can control. So we're going to add the output for the volume input parameter for the volume so that we can control it with the button, and we are going to use this as the dry signal first off. So when we connect the button to the fruity balance and we look at it with the surface, we can now turn it on and off. And then we need to do the reverse basically for the plugin. So we're going to add another instance of fruity balance, and we're going to do the same. So we go into input and parameter and volume, and now we can connect fruity balance to the filter and the filter to the output. But before we can connect the button to the surface level, we need to reverse the control so that when we hit the button, it is actually doing the opposite for the second instance of fruity balance we have compared to the first one. So we're going to add XYZ controller again. And let's clean up a bit. Okay. So in XYZ controller, we are going to add an input and output parameter for the Y value. Once again, output controls and Y, and we connect those now like this. And again, we change coordinates into input mapping. We select Y and we reverse the control. Okay, so basically now, now we have the signal going through the effect and going also a dry version of the signal going out. So we have the both at the same time. But if we look at the fruity balance effects we have now, so this is called the wet signal with the effect, and this is called the dry signal without the effect. So if you look at the surface, it is flipping the both volumes with one press of the button. So now when we listen to the track, now we have the dry signal here, and now we have the wet signal. So that is one way you could do it. One problem you might see is that actually now, if we look at the default value for balance, the output volume is going from minus infinite decibels to minus, or actually like 0 decibels. But now the button, when we press it, it is actually throwing it to 5.6 plus decibels. So it's actually going a bit too loud compared to the regular signal. So what you can do is if we reset this and we check what the value is here. So we right click it and type in value, we can see that is 0.8. So it's at 80% of the maximum value. If you type in 1, that is 100%, and then it's going to the 5.6. So if we type in the value, right, 0.8, we are now at 0 dB. So that means that in our Fruity XYZ controller, when we go to output mapping and we have the Y value here, it is now going from 0 to 1, but we change the 1 into 0.8. And if you want to fix the same control for the dry signal as well, we need to add another one. So Fruity XYZ here, and then we add input and Y value, and output and Y value. And then we connect this, and well, actually we need to disconnect that, and here and here, and for the output we are going to type in 0.8. So now when we look at the balances we have here and we hit the button, it should go to 0. The dry signal is still broken. Yeah, sorry, I selected X and not Y, so we need to go into Y and 0.8 and hit enter. And now when we check it, yep, 0 and 0. So that is basically how I would do it. And you can repeat this if you want to have like several effects and you want to bypass them like one at a time. Then you just need to add like one dry signal, one wet signal, and then you can add basically the wet signals in parallel. So you can add a wet signal that doesn't go through the filter, or then you can add so that it goes through the filter and you have it before or after that. But I'm processing it like at the same time as the filter, but that is up to you. But this is how I would do it if you have like just a dry and a wet signal. Hope this helps.